Welcome back to you all to the Commerce Positivity lecture. In today's lecture, we will be discussing and studying about the meaning and definitions of coordinations. Meaning and definitions of coordinations given by different scholars. Similarly, characteristic of coordinations, technique of coordination, and importance of coordinations, and the last principle of coordination. So let's start with the meaning or the concept of coordinations. Well, as we all know that the activities of organizations are carried out through various unity and department. Such departments perform their respective duties toward a common goal. All the activities and efforts of departments and employers must be harmonized. It must be harmonized in order to achieve the goal and the target of the organizations. A good coordinations can be compared with the better performance within the organizations. Normally, you can say that coordination is an important function of management. It is a process, it is a process of harmonizing and integrating the resources and the activities of various departments, branch and individuals for the achievement of harmony and the unity. It is a process of binding all the components of an organization in a systematic order. In other words, we can normally say that coordination refers to an orderly arrangement of group efforts to provide unity of actions. Well, different scholars have given the definitions of coordinations. According to Henry Fayol, here we have is that coordination is to harmonize all the activities of a concern so as to facilitate the working and its success. Similarly, the another scholar here we have is that according to Kans and Ogenel, a good coordination is that which forecasts the problem and take necessary preventive measure so that it may not arise at all. Simply in conclusion, we can say that coordinations may be defined as a process. Coordination is a process, that aims to integrating the activities and efforts of different unity of an enterprises for the attainment of the single organizational goal. It is based on personal contract, cooperations, and mutual confidence, and a good human relationship. Managers should coordinate all the resources and activities of the organizations effectively for the attainment of organizational goal. I just hope you all understand the meaning and the definitions of coordinations. Now let's study about the characteristic or the natures of coordination. So what are the characteristic, natures or features of coordination? The first characteristic here we have is that managerial functions. Yes, of course, coordination is an important function of management. It exists within each functions of management. It is required at all levels and in all departments of an organization. It is essential to bring effectiveness in organizational performance. Continuous process is another important characteristic of a coordination. Coordination is never-ending functions in managerial process. It is practiced from the establishment of the organizations up to its existence. It is carried out by all the manager at all the time. Group effort. Coordinations require group efforts, not the individual's effort. It influences group of an individuals and their efforts to develop the feeling of team spirit and group dynamic. Proper coordinations cannot occur without coordinations between members of the group. Similarly, another characteristic here we have is that unity of action. Coordination is a process of binding all the components of an organization in a systematic order. It is essential to integrate the efforts of all departments and Individuals that's supposed to bring unity of actions for achieving organizational goal. Human relationship or human relations is another characteristic of coordinations. Coordination is an interpersonal functions. It influences individuals to perform work in the organizations. It helps to develop good human relationship, to maintain group efforts and team spirits among the work group. Similarly, the last characteristic here of coordination here we have is that managerial responsibility. Yes, of course, coordination is the basis of responsibility of the management. It can be achieved through the managerial functions. The top level managers are responsible to maintain coordinations among the middle level manager, the middle level managers too, the first line manager and the first line managers to the operating employers. Yeah, I just hope you all understand the characteristic of coordinations. Now, let's just study about the technique. What are the technique of coordinations? Well, coordination is essential at every level of management for achieving harmony of an individual efforts. The management has to take consider efforts to secure coordinations of various activities of the organizations. Sound organization is the first technique here we have. Coordination is possible only in a sound organizational structure. A sound organizational structure has a clear meaning of authority, responsibility, relationship, which helps in reducing conflict among the different positions. Hence, coordination is essential for sound organizations. Clear defined goal is another technique. An organization should have clear defined goal. A clear defined goal supports the employers to understand for coordinating all the efforts and activities. Hence, coordination should be facilitated by clear defined goal. Similarly, another technique here we have is that comprehensive policies and program. Yes, well-defined and comprehensive policies and program are also important instruments of the coordinations. They bring uniformity in actions because everybody understands the policies and program in the same sense. Group decision is another technique. Group decision is another means of effective coordinations. Group decisions are very easy to implement as all the group members feel responsible for. Better and free exchange of ideas, feelings and opinions promotes the coordinations. Voluntary cooperation is another technique. Coordinations cannot be brought by force. Yes, it cannot be brought by the force of the members. Voluntary cooperations of employees is more helpful to promote effective coordinations. Voluntary cooperations can be developed among the employers by encouraging them through contract and the communications. Effective communication is another techniques of coordinations. Here we have is that effective communication is a key. Yes, it is a key to effective coordinations. The means of communications used in the organization should be effective and reliable, which promote mutual understanding and cooperations among various individuals. Effective leadership and supervision is another technique. And effective leadership and supervision is another technique of achieving better coordinations. Okay, it facilitates the employers to get proper guidelines and directions to solve the problem. This leads to create confidence and high morals of the employers. Staff meeting and conference is the last technique here we have. Periodic staff meeting and conference are highly important for effective coordinations. It provides a forum for the discussions of various problems faced by different departments and individuals within the organizations. In such meeting and conference, employers are free to exchange their ideas, feelings, opinions. It gives a sense of unity, of opportunity to face communications and to promote to the coordinations within the organizations. Now, let's just study about the importance of coordinations. Well, coordination is an important function of management. It is necessary at every level of the management. It's support for the smooth operations of an organization. The department and work group of an organization are indispensable. Coordination helps to integrate such department and work group. The first important here we have is that accomplishment of objective. Yes, of course, the coordinations of employers and their activities of the organizations facilitates to accomplish the desired objective. It increases productivity by preventing duplications of works and the efforts. Unity of action is another important. Coordination is the process of binding all the components of the organization in a systematic order. It is essential. Yes, it is essential to integrate the efforts of all departments and the individuals that supports to bring unity of actions for achieving organizational goal. Reconcile goal is another important. Coordination facilitates to reconcile the individuals and the organizational goal of the organizations. It also facilitates two-way and open communications between managers and the subordinates. This supports to fulfill the objective of both authority. Increase in effective and economy is another importance of coordinations. A good coordinations in an organizations increase both the efficiency and economy in the operations. It avoids delay and eliminates duplications of work and efforts. Coordination facilitates mutual relationship among the co-workers in an organization, which facilitates to solve the problem. Good personal relationship or good personal relation is another importance. Coordinations provide job satisfactions to the employers and keep their morale very high. Proper coordinations helps to avoid the conflict and the misunderstanding between managers and the subordinates in the organizations. The mutual understanding and relationship among the employers in the organization is fruitful to achieve the common organizational goal. Retention of employers is another important. And effective coordinations of an organizations lead to job satisfactions of the employers and maintain their morale high. This leads the organizations to retain the employers forever. It also supports to develop the potentials of the employers for the better contributions in the organizations. The last important here we have is that key to managerial function. Yes, of course, coordination is the key of all managerial functions such as planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. No functions of management can be performed effectively until and unless they are properly coordinated. So coordinations can be taken as a importance of the coordinations or the management. Now, let's just study about the principle of coordinations. What are the principle or guidelines that guides the coordinations? Well, the first principle here we have is that early start. Yes, the process of coordination must begin in the early stage of a planning and policy formulations of the organizations. Initial coordinations of the organizations improve the qualities of plan and policy. There must be a mutual trust and confidence among the members at the early stage of the organizations to coordinate the activities. Direct contact is another principle of the coordinations, and effective coordinations should be based on direct contact or interpersonal relationship among the employers. It is one of the most important means of creating mutual understanding and the confidence. It helps to clarify misunderstanding and secure mutual cooperations. Continuity is another important principle. Coordination is a continuous or never-ending process. It must be carried on through the entire process of the management, starting from planning to the control. Therefore, the managers never stop to provide the efforts toward the effective coordinations. Reciprocal relationship is another important principle. Here we have all factors of production such as man, money, machine, material, management are interdependent and interrelated. Coordination should be regarded as a reciprocal relationship between those factors. These factors affect and influence by each other. The management can maintain reciprocal relationship between these factors with the help of effective coordinations. Simplified organization is another important principle of the coordinations. A good coordination is required. A simplified organizational structures in an enterprises. There should be a clear line of authority in the management from top to the bottom. There should be the provisions of organizational charge, divisions of work, and definitions of authorities and responsibility of all the members of the organizations. Environmental adoptions. The technique of coordination should not be rigid or stable. It should be dynamic and expectable according to environmental change of the business. Environmental factors are unstable according to changing environment of the society. Therefore, the coordination should be modified in accordance with the environmental change. Effective leadership and the supervisions is the last principle of coordinations here. Effective leadership and scientific supervisions ensure effective coordinations to formulate and implement the plan and the policies. The effectiveness of coordinations depends upon the leadership capabilities of the managers. On the other hand, effective supervisions is essential to increase the morals and maintain discipline among the subordinates. Yeah, I just hope you all understand the meaning and definitions of coordinations. Definitions of coordinations given by different scholars, characteristic natures of coordinations, importance of coordinations, technique of coordinations, and the principle of coordination. Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Take care.